From a globe-trotting baby to a stylish college student, Zahara Jolie has grown up with a life like no other. By the time Zahara Jolie was 1, she was already a globe-trotting citizen. In November 2005, a 10-month-old Zahara arrived in Tokyo in the arms of Brad Pitt, with Angelina Jolie trailing close behind. A few months later, the family jetted off to France, where they were seen spending quality time at a park in Paris. Later in 2006, Zahara enjoyed a boat ride in her father's lap during a trip to India. She was living a life her biological family could never have pictured just months earlier. Zahara was born to sexual assault victim Mentawab Dawit Labiso, who left home after struggling with breastfeeding rather than watch her child suffer. She was left in the care of her grandmother in a small village south of the Ethiopian capital of Addis Ababa. Unable to care for Zahara, her grandmother put her up for adoption. Mentawab has remarked that she's grateful for the life Zahara went on to have, and so was Pitt, who became more interested in the root causes of Africa's issues thanks to his daughter. He told Newsweek in 2006, "I imagine what her life could have been."
I felt so blessed to be able to be a mother to children from different parts of the world.
By 2011, Zahara had turned into a slender kid who had grown up to her mom's waist. 6-year-old Zahara looked a bit shorter than her sister Shiloh, who's almost a year and a half younger. During those days, Jolie was often seen having girl time with her oldest daughters. In September 2011, she took them to get their ears pierced in London. Zahara and her siblings convinced their parents to consider getting married. Pitt told CBS News in January 2012, "We're getting a lot of pressure from the kids. Yeah, it means something to them. And they have questions when their friends' parents are married, and why is that?" 3 months later, Pitt and Jolie confirmed their engagement in a statement that made sure to mention their children. Their rep told People in 2012, "It is a promise for the future, and their kids are very happy." In November 2014, Zahara was 9 years old and nearly reached her mother's shoulders. At that point, the Jolie-Pitt brood had successfully become a legal family unit. In August of that year, Angelina and Brad tied the knot in a secret ceremony in France that had their children's fingerprints all over it, both literally and figuratively. Jolie donned a dress adorned with the kids' drawings, and each child had a role in the wedding. Zahara was a flower girl. Pitt told People in September 2014, "It was such a special day to share with our children, and a very happy time for our family." It was also around then that Zahara and Shiloh became interested in soccer. By the following year, she and Shiloh had been photographed playing together several times. Often, their parents watched from the sidelines. Zahara and Shiloh's games became an important distraction for Jolie when she opted to remove her ovaries after undergoing cancer testing. She wrote in a March 2015 New York Times essay, "I passed those 5 days in a haze, attending my children's soccer game and working to stay calm and focused." When Jolie and Pitt were declared legally single in 2019, 14-year-old Zahara was no longer the skinny kid she had been just the year before. As she demonstrated at the London premiere of Maleficent Mistress of Evil that October, Zahara had turned into a stylish teenager who wasn't afraid to rock a strapless gown on the red carpet.
I'm so lucky that I have a job where I'm able to bring my children to work.
She had officially been outgrown by Shiloh, too. While her 13-year-old sister was reaching mother's height, Zahara had stopped at Jolie's chin. Though Shiloh opted for a casual outfit, she soon began to show up to events in dresses and heels, and Zahara may have had something to do with that. A source told Life and Style in 2021, "Shiloh loves music, dance, acting, and lately, thanks to her sister Zahara, fashion. When Shiloh's feeling like dressing up, Zahara is the one she turns to." The insider added, "Zahara is the real fashionista in the family."
Growing up so beautifully.
As Zahara continued to grow into herself, she also faced a difficult time at home. Jolie and Pitt continued to fight over the details regarding custody, including how much time Pitt had with the kids. In May 2021, a judge awarded him more time, but the decision was reversed 2 months later. A source told People, "Brad believes there is overwhelming evidence that the current situation isn't good for the kids." When Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt in September 2016, Zahara was 11 and still part of the custody case. As the separation continues to drag on, their children have started to outgrow court-ordered visitations. In January 2023, Zahara turned 18 and now had a say in whom she spends time with. Today, she appears to be as close with her mother as ever and has no problems being photographed hand-in-hand with Jolie, as they did during a New York outing in December 2023. On the other hand, Zahara's relationship with Pitt is a bit harder to grasp. Pitt's relationship with his sons Maddox and Pax has seemingly been damaged beyond repair, and it's looking like Zahara may have taken her mother's side as well. There have been signs Zahara hasn't been on the best terms with her dad for a few years. In 2019, for instance, she joined Maddox and Pax in skipping his Christmas. But the biggest hint that her relationship with Pitt has deteriorated came in November 2023. When Zahara introduced herself at her sorority induction ceremony at Spelman College, she dropped her dad's last name and shouted, "Zahara Marley Jolie." While it looks like Zahara is Team Jolie, her father isn't taking his daughter's feelings personally. He told Vanity Fair in August 2022, "I'm so proud of her. She's so smart. She's going to flourish even more at college."